in order to spark the transformation of Belred. So as you can see here, in the diagram provided by the City of Bellevue, immediately adjacent to the station is a community hub with grocery stores, retail destination, and other support. For us, as we are that site immediately next to the station, we must be a community hub. We must be the place that people come to sit and stay for a while and to gather with their friends. Secondly, as we are the first mover in this area, we must be a catalyst for further development. Surrounding us, Bellevue has planned for high-density residential, and that requires specific services and ways to support this community. Thirdly, we are citing the unique character of this site, of this neighborhood. So imagine a welcoming, buzzing neighborhood with remnants of its industrial past, which contrasts with the glassy, sterile towers of downtown. With this design, we are targeting two key markets. The first is young professionals, people in their mid to late 20s who have recently graduated, are often working in the tech sector, have recently moved to the Seattle area. They're still looking for a flexible place to live, but are looking for a unique and interesting neighborhood to live in. Our second key market is young couples. These are people in their early to late 30s. They've been living in Seattle for a while. They're looking for an interesting neighborhood that they can settle down in and invest in for the long term. Both of these demographics have high median income and are often employed by the tech sector, such as Microsoft, which is 5 minutes away on the LRT. To be a community hub, we are providing 4 unique public spaces. The first, imagine you're coming off of the LRT. You're enticed into this interesting pedestrian lane. With retail lining the edges, this is definitely prime for exploration later. For now, you're delighted to grab a coffee. As you emerge from the pedestrian lane, you come into the community square. This is the place for the truly gathering in the community. You might sit here for brunch with your friends, watch a group playing hacky sack in the corner, watch a couple people lazing in the sun. This is where you can watch the true variety of the neighborhood pass by. You might see an impromptu music concert or go to a yoga class. With retail lining the edges, this space is lively at all hours of the day and evening. Thirdly, you might walk up 130th Ave. You're enticed up a small set of stairs and onto the rooftop walkway. This space is quieter, but no less vibrant. Here, this is a true amenity for the people living at Creekside and in the surrounding neighborhood. It's a true extension of their living area. Here, you might sit and stay and chat with a friend, watching the activity on the square below. You might have a plot in the community garden. This space is an extension of a public square up onto the rooftop. So you can imagine that you might be watching a Seahawks game in the square below. You can bring out a chair and have the best seat in the house. Our fourth space is a natural trail in this area behind, which connects 132nd Ave with Golf Creek to a community square. This space is natural, it's treed, it's a respite. It's complementary to our community square. In addition to this, we've managed to fit a bioswale into this area. This meets the City of Bellevue's goals for sustainable development and for rehabilitation of Golf Creek. Some of our other ways we're doing this are through methods such as impervious pavers, rainwater capture, and a buffer from Golf Creek as required. So our unique retail experience and retail mix really sets the character of this area. First is neighborhood retail. So here we have a local grocery store such as Metropolitan Market, which is similar to an urban fair here in Vancouver. It's high-end, it's specialized, and it has a small floor plate. It's designed to cater to our key markets who want to feel good about what they're buying, who want to go and have a unique retail experience. We then also have destination retail. So think of a combination between One Under, a golf simulator, and Bellevue Brewing Company. Here you go on an evening in a rainy February day with a few of your friends. You test out some drives, you have some great food, and some delicious local beer. Finally, we have our boutique retail. This is what sets the character and the tone of the area, particularly on the pedestrian streets and in the community square. In this space, this livens the community square at all hours. Here, you might go and pick up a slice of meat from an artisan butcher. and go to get the best bread in the city. So how is this retail market supported? First, we have 500 residents at Creekside. Second, our 300-stall parking ride brings hundreds of people every day to the site, and it's a convenient location to pick up something before you head home. There's 50,000 people projected LRT ridership by 2030, but currently, there's over 27,000 people employed and 9,000 residents within 1 mile, with very few services to cater to them. The coming high-density development surrounding our site will only further enhance this retail. So, we're developing this in 3 phases. Our first phase has affordable condo. Our second phase has a mix of market condo and market rental. Rental has a strong market, indicated by a low vacancy rate of 3.5% and a high rental rate of $2.54. Condo has a very limited supply in Seattle, only 1.21 months of supply left in Seattle. Our third phase, we develop market condo and market rental. This mix is essential because we are targeting both of our key demographics. We are tapping into both of these key markets and minimizing their risk. I will now hand it back to Marcus to go over plan.
Thanks, Alex. So I know we've already told you about how great our phasing strategy is, but the benefits of this also ring true for our financial performance. So first example of this is our debt structure. Because we are treating each individual phase as a project in itself, we will be taking out 3 separate construction loans. And because there are 3, the values of these will be much lower than if we had not phased the project. And so this makes it a lot easier for us to obtain financing for the project. Our exit strategy will be to sell the assets of each individual phase as soon as they are stabilized. And we will take the proceeds from this sale to pay off the construction loan. Doing this also allows us to roll any residual income from that sale into the equity requirements for the subsequent phase. Doing this, we have been able to reduce our equity requirement from $35 million if we had not phased this project to just $12.5 million. That's a reduction of 65%, and now our return on equity ratio is over 40%. So that's fantastic. Now, as you can see, by doing these, we have achieved consistent financial returns in all 3 of our phases. That was quite an accomplishment given the challenges that we previously discussed. Now, of course, our development is not immune to risk, so we'd like to consider 3 main risks to our project. The first of that are our hard construction costs. For any of our 3 phases to drop below our required hurdle rates, hard construction costs on a blended average over our different uses would have to increase by 8%. Now, given the fact that we've already included a 10% hard cost contingency in our pro forma, we do believe we've already included significant buffers in this risk area. Secondly, our rents. On the residential side, rents would have to decrease by 17%, and on the retail side, they would have to decrease by a whopping 20% in order for any of our individual phases to drop below the required hurdle rates. Contrast that with the fact that markets have been increasing lately. So for example, residential rents increased 8% last year. We don't think our project is at a significant risk of this happening. Finally, our cap rates. Our residential cap rates, currently at 6.5%, would have to increase by 175 basis points for any of our financial hurdles to not be met in our 3 phases. On the other hand, retail cap rates would have to increase by 125 basis points. As I'm sure you know, these are big increases in cap rates, and it would take a lot to change this. Consider also that we have already included in our base assumption cap rates adjustments given the current market conditions, the location of our site, and the fact that we are a first mover in this area. So we have already included contingencies in this area. So again, we've thought about this, and we don't think any of these changes are likely to occur in the market. All in all, I'd just like to reiterate the financial performance of our total project. At an overall development cost of $99 million and an equity requirement of $12.5 million, we have achieved a profit of $17 million, which is a return on cost of 17%, an unlevered IRR of 20%, and a levered IRR of 27%. So in the near future, we see the Bellred corridor as transitioning from an underused light industrial area to a burgeoning series of mixed-use communities. Our development, Creekside, is going to be the heart of this transition, acting as a catalyst to draw people to the area and encourage future development down the road. The real story we had for you today, though, was how our project generated creative solutions to overcome the numerous challenges that this project provided us. The first solution was a phasing plan to overcome the upfront cost of a 300-stall park and ride. The second solution was affordable housing in the form of affordable condos to overcome the base density level of 1.0. The third was to build mid-rise wood frame buildings to overcome the high construction costs of concrete in this area. And finally, we have created a fantastic amenity-led design program for our project. These include a great pedestrian lane, a lively community square, rooftop patios with community gardens. Once again, our project accomplishes all these tasks while delivering significant financial returns over and above the required hurdle rates of our development. All in all, we are convinced that Creekside will provide tremendous value for the Bell-Red corridor. Our project is a solution in which all stakeholders are winners. Creekside truly is the heart of something new. So on behalf of Alex and I and the entire team at Thunder Development, I'd like to thank you judges and audience for your attention today, and we'd now like to open the floor to any questions you might have at this time. So thank you.
For this team, we're going to sort of start the questions at this end and sort of move that way, and after we get to the first round, then it's who's ever loudest, and then the second one will go the opposite direction.
Before we start the questions, I'd just like to point out that we fully realize the report you have in your hands has different numbers and ideas than what we just presented to you. We became aware of more information over the course of the weekend that we didn't have at the time of printing that, so our design changed slightly. But everything we presented, that's what we're doing.
So would you mind going back to your just basic site plan? Where we've got.
I
I guess one of the initial questions I guess I have is, these lots you talk about as being specifically distinct lots, was there any discussion about the potential to close the street and consolidate?
Yeah, I can answer that question. Actually, as it stands currently,